Hello, welcome back to another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. Today, we're going to talk about it. It is the latest Blu-ray by Nemophila. I remember when this was announced, and was like a day later or not long after when they announced that Saki was no longer with the band. You know, for anyone who's into J metal and all that sort of stuff, it went through the music scene pretty quickly. Like, whoa, what happened? You know, and we always wanted to know why. We never got the answer. There's lots of theories on what could have happened, but it seems to be the recurring thing that I always see is, why would she leave a successful band like Nemophila? Nobody's really asking the question, which could be, why was Saki asked to leave the band? Which is interesting because it was recorded on the 17th of February and Saki's departure was announced on the 31st of March. It made me wonder, I'm guessing she didn't know that she was going to be out at this point because she's having the time of her life. She's all smiles. There's nothing there that's showing like, this is my last gig. This show is just screaming like five girls that just love what they do and they just put on this amazing performance. So what happened between the 17th of February and the 31st of March, I will never know the answer to. I don't think any of us will ever know. And we'll all have our doubts and our theories about it. But yeah, it's a pretty special moment to see that this is now captured on Blu-ray. I really love it, and I'm glad that we have it because for those of us who couldn't be there, you know, we got to see Saki's last performance and how special it is because of how great she's playing. I don't know. It is sad. It is emotional that the five will not be the five anymore. It's going to be the four, and Saki's going to do her own thing. But you know, you build a bridge and you get over it and you move on to the next thing. No shade to either because I like both. I think Saki's solo stuff is incredible. I really love Nemophila, and we have got now a four-piece Nemophila moving forward. I love the new single, God. Great song. Fantastic song. I get the feeling we probably won't get a new album until next year, but that song is fantastic. But we have this, which is a 2-disc Blu-ray of the last show that Saki played, plus you get an awesome club show, but we'll get to that in a minute. First of all, is this concert one of the greatest concerts to ever be captured on Blu-ray?
Hell yeah!
It's up there. It really is. The sound on this is fantastic. You can hear everything perfectly. The visuals, fantastic. The performances, incredible. Mind-blowing performances from these girls. If you've been following Nemophila through their Blu-rays and YouTube videos, as I have had to because I've never been able to see them when I've been in Japan, and they've never been to Australia yet, you've seen a band progress. And every Blu-ray, while they're all good, they just get better and better as they go on. Like, as you may have seen in my review of the Rising Nemo Blu-ray, I was totally floored by it, just as I am by this one. This performance is incredible. They're playing at the legendary Budokan Hall. Thank you, Cheap Trick.
Thank you, everybody in Tokyo!
They don't have a really flashy stage show because they don't need it. They've got the songs. And that's what's most important here. I really like their get-up. They're all dressed in these traditional Japanese clothes that are mixed with their own Nemophila vibe. And it's really cool to see. I mean, Saki's hair looks insane. Like, it's great. You know, that whole steampunk look that she's been having. She's got that crossed with this traditional Japanese getup, and it looks so cool. Hazuki, she looks cool as hell, and she shreds like a goddess. Hazuki is amazing. Tamu on the drums. Wow. I say it all the time about her. She is an incredible player, and I love watching her play drums. Growing up as a drummer myself, I got really into just focusing and watching drummers when they play live. And every time I go see a band, I'm so focused on what the drummer's doing. I can't get out of that headspace. I just love watching really good drummers. Tamu is phenomenal, and everyone who's seen them play would agree. She has these really interesting drum fills. She hits really hard. She's very imaginative in the way that she uses the whole kit. And she seems like she's having the best time because she's always smiling. Yeah, just having a lot of fun behind the kit while she's playing and doing some kick-ass drum fills. Haraguchi-san is just killing it on the bass as always, has an amazing bass tone. I love her bass tone. Mayu is of course Mayu. She has an angelic voice that can change between that scream and straight into the beautiful harmonies, and she does it flawlessly throughout the whole show. It's like 2 hours long. She is just delivering it. There's 21 songs. 21 songs. But the show itself, like, I mean, what a set list. They open up with Rise, which is such a great song. And I remember the first time I heard Rise, blown away immediately. And I would have talked about that in the Evolve review that I did. Rise is just such a great song, a great opener, and just, yeah, it slays. They do Waiting for You on this, and I really love that song. I really love the performance of it on this. It's so, so cool, and it's just such a great rocker. That song is just a lot of fun to play along to on your guitar if you play guitar, or just to, you know, scream out and rock around your lounge room, I guess, while nobody's watching. It's just a really, really cool song. Night Flight, of course, the sunglasses come out and they do the dancing and all that stuff. Love it. Such a great song. I really like the version of this. Like, it's kind of like this extended dance intro and stuff, which works. And it's really, really cool the way it happens. And then it just breaks out into the big song. That chorus is just such a killer chorus. Love that song a lot. And again, should have been on the radio everywhere. Wasn't, but should have been, because it's that good. The version of Hammer Down on this is so cool. And I know I've mentioned it before that I feel that the writers who wrote that song were listening to a lot of Propaganda. And if you haven't listened to Propaganda, listen to the last two albums, Victory Lap and Failed States especially, and you'll see what I mean. There is a lot there that just reminds me of Propaganda. And that's not a bad thing, because Propaganda are one of the greatest punk gone metal crossover bands ever. And yeah, the guitar playing is just so reminiscent. That if you've listened to Propaganda, you know what I'm talking about, and I'm sure you can see the similarities there. The version of Life on here is just absolutely fantastic. The guitar solo, oh my god. I don't know how that song is going to sound now as a 4-piece. I'm really curious to hear it, because the charm of that song, not only is it just such an amazingly well-written song, but the dual guitar solos, the harmonizing of each other is so special to that song that I'm really curious how it's going to sound with just the one guitarist doing the leads. I'm sure it's going to be awesome, but I'm just very curious to hear it, because it's going to be hard to top the version that's on this. It really is. The encore is Life, Dissension, and Oiran. What a great encore. Like, it's just such a powerhouse for those three songs together. And yeah, when it finishes, I mean, I put on the Blu-ray and I was exhausted by the end of it just watching, because I was so excited to hear it and it just sounded so good. I can only imagine how tired they were after 21 songs. Amazing performance on this Blu-ray. Trust me, if you've ever been curious about Nemophila and you don't know where to start, this is a great place to start. Trust me on this. This is just fantastic. Let's move on to the club show. Now, one of the things that makes Nemophila this big band is that they do have a lot of backing tracks. When I say backing tracks, I mean like they just have like backing keyboards, like to enhance the song. You know, there's no keyboard player on stage or whatever. I feel this Blu-ray of them in the club show is as raw as we're going to get of Nemophila just stripping back without all the big showy stuff and just playing like they're playing. You know, this club is like what, 200 or 300 people max, and it is just an intense, high energy performance. Both performances on this are high energy, but the club show just has this different feel to it. Obviously, because there's no real room on stage for them to go running around everywhere. So they're kind of stuck to their areas, you know, but the energy just, oh my God, they're feeding off the audience, which is like, you know, possibly a meter away from them, if that. And the performance is on fire. And I feel that if I get the chance to see Nemophila, I'd love to see both. I'd love to see the big production and also the club show. While there is elements of like, you know, the backing tracks, the backing vocal harmonies, whatever, on the club show, I feel it's not as evident as the big production. It's also mixed differently, which is pretty cool, because there's a bit where Hazuki's screaming into the mic, and actually you can hear her voice so clearly in the club show, and I love it. I thought that was so cool. I was like, oh my God, just, you know, she's so into it, and she's just like losing her mind when she's playing and going nuts on it and stuff like that. It was really cool to see. With the club show, they finish with Odyssey. Now, the fact that we get Odyssey twice on this is so cool. So we get, you get the big performance and you get this awesome club performance, which they perform last, which I wouldn't think it would be a last song to play. But when you hear it in this context, they've done 17 songs prior, which are just heavy and, full on. And then all of a sudden they finish with Odyssey. It makes sense. It's kind of like you're finishing on a emotional level, on this, like, we're all together. Let's do this slow jam together and just cry together or something. I don't know. But it is so cool to see and to see how well connected they are with their fans. Nemophila, man, like, what a band. This is the cover of the disc, which I'm sure you've already seen. This is the back cover with both track listings on there that you can see. I've got these stickers as well. Like, these stickers came with it because it's like if you did a pre-order, they gave you some stickers as a bonus. So here is a look at the thing for the discs. Here are the discs themselves, and there is this back cover there. Here's the booklet. Now you get the track listing there. You've got tons of photos in here, as you can see. Also, there's this part where they hold up this sign to the audience. Does anyone know what that sign says? I can't speak Japanese or read kanji or their traditional writing, so if you know what it is, please let me know. Put it in the comments. And there we go. And then we have the club show. Now this club show, like I said, it's tiny. It really is. It's a small club show. And it's cool to see them in this setting. When I get to Japan at a time when they're actually going to be there, I hope that I get to see them in a small club just for the experience. And there you go. There's the credits. I must say, 5 gold stars to the people who did the sound on this Blu-ray, especially the Budokan show. The sound is impeccable. It is flawless. You can hear everything so well. Like every vocal line, every guitar noodling, everything just sounds so good on this Blu-ray. It's mixed really, really well, which is probably why it's up there as one of the greatest sounding Blu-rays you'll ever hear in your life. Like, I've got a lot of Blu-rays from a lot of bands, because there's a lot of bands that just don't tour Australia. And so the only way we can really see them live is by ordering these Blu-rays. Especially the Japanese bands. We don't get a lot of the bigger Japanese bands out here, which is kind of weird because all the small Japanese bands come out here. Like, we just had the Fadeaways. We've got 2 bands from Kyoto coming this week. The Let's Go's have been here. Guitar Wolf come here all the time. The 5678s have been here. Like, all these smaller Japanese bands all come to Australia and they do really well. They play pubs and they do really, really well. They always sell out their shows. Like the Fadeaway show that just happened. Oh my God, the place was packed. Absolutely packed. It was incredible to see them here on Australian soil. We do have 2 great Japanese metal bands coming in November. We have Bright Ear and we have Hanabi, not on the same show, which I'm really looking forward to both shows. I cannot wait to get there and see both of those gigs. We've had Baby Metal here, but they're massive everywhere. Anyway, this is Nemophila's latest Blu-ray. Please do yourself a favor. Check it out if you're at least curious, because it will blow your mind. It's a bit expensive, but it's worth it for the experience and how good it sounds. Especially if you've got a really good sound system at home, crank this up to 10. Let the neighbors enjoy it too, just like I did. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I hope you enjoyed it, neighbors. Thanks so much for watching another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. Do yourself a favor, check out some Japanese bands, go down the rabbit hole, man, because it really is, it's one hell of a rabbit hole. You are going to hear and discover your next favorite band, or 20, or 100. There's so many good ones there. Japanese music is thriving at the moment, and we are very lucky that we get to live now where we can be a part of it. Take care of each other, look after yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.